I remember when the Republicans were the ones that were like, look at our war record, like we love our veterans. And now it seems as if their convention was absent of that. Like, yes, the president has very, very strong foreign policy measures. You know what I mean? He's willing to press the button. He's willing to George Bush the button on Somalian pirates. He's willing to George Bush the button on Bin Laden. And he did the democratic approach to nation building, which is we're going to outsource the Mujahideen fighters. The only problem is that when you do that, you can't control what people do. And when they rape and turn Gaddafi into a puppet, it makes it, as much as people who have been oppressed under his regime look at that, the rest of the world looks and sees, oh, these are Arab savages. This is how they deal with their society. No mention, of course, that the rest of the world, whether Asian, white, Black, Latino, motherfuckers get killed everywhere. Leaders get overthrown, people get hung, whether it's Nikolai Ceausescu or whether you some coke bitch in Colombia that finally got your ticket pulled because everybody has their day.
What do you think of Romney?
I think that he was trying to portray himself as a very emotional being this time around, especially during the convention. He made a great emphasis on doing that, on playing up the fact that he has a personality, because up until now, nobody ever thought he did. They kind of just looked at him as a robot, uncaring, unemotional, the kind of guy that would work for you as a boss and you would ask him for a day off and he would just be like, no. Like, my mom's dying, no. He just seems like that type of uncompromising individual, whereas, you know, to Mr. Obama's credit, even at the expense of a lot of his constituency in the left, he's been willing to make deals with Republicans. And I think that that is indicative of someone who's looking to try and be a compromiser, but at the same time, someone who, when he had all the advantages of the Democratic Congress, the Democratic Senate, didn't push through what he should have at that particular point.
What do you think of Romney being, if he gets elected, being one of the richest?
I don't think he'll be elected.
You don't think he'll be elected? No chance?
No, I'm not saying there's no chance. I think the chips are going to fall with Obama. I think that a lot of people are very invested in that. And the infrastructure of America, especially finishing these wars and going through economic change, rare to see them oust a president that way. Although Romney does have a huge, huge cash influx, which makes him able to put all these ads out. It'll just be up to the swing states. You know, regular states are going to swing. New York is going to always be, you know, Democrat for the most part. America's always been run by rich, privileged people.
Not quite this rich.
No, but I think that I think this rich. I think people much richer have been pulling the strings. Obviously not in the forefront, but people who have a lot more money than he does are able to influence Mr. Obama. Yeah. And the same people that influence Mr. Obama with money are going to influence Mr. Romney if he's elected. You know, and I think that he's a pragmatic man. You know, his politics have changed from wherever he goes, because he's a businessman before anything else, right. Which means he's a good liar. You know, that's all. If he's gonna go up there and say the same thing that he said, is he gonna go up there and say the same thing that he said while he was debating Ted Kennedy about saying, oh no, I respect abortion rights, or, you know, talking about his economic plan for recovery? You know, eventually, you know, Ted Kennedy came out and just said, hey man, you know, which plan are you for? Because every time I see you, you're for another plan. So he was calling him a flip-flopper back then. He changed his opinion on abortion. I think the real challenge to Mr. Romney is not so much Mr. Obama, but the dissatisfied people within his own party that don't believe he's a real Christian, who can't get past the economic policies that he's had for and then not had for. Obamacare was original Romney care, you know. All these things that about an individual that eventually sum up the fact that they don't know if they can trust him. That's what the end result will be, who Americans can feel like they can trust.